Welcome to Comfort Havoc number 2. The following video is going to make you angry. And so before I begin, I once again apologize. I am really, really sorry about the things that are about to come out my mouth. These are my feelings. These are some things that are going to hurt people who are Trump supporters. I am not a Trump supporter. I'm not going to lie. Before I found out all the things I found out about him and before he became the president and made it okay to be racist, I didn't hate the guy. I really didn't hate the guy. I loved when him and McMahon was going at it and all that other shit. So like I said, it wasn't until he became the president that I couldn't stand him. Because somehow he hid all the racist shit and nobody really knew about it until he became president. And then you could just dig anywhere on the internet and find out some of the racist shit that he did before I was born and after I was born. And then there was the Central Park 5. So, I'm sorry. Let us begin. First, we're going to start off with Joe Biden. Alright? Hunter Biden. If he's going to jail, he's going to jail. Ain't a goddamn thing any of us can do about it. So, if he did some shady shit, lock his ass the fuck up. If his daddy's the president on the next term, we know he'll give him a political pardon. No. And, uncool as that is, we know how blood works. And that's probably exactly what's going to happen. If they find Hunter guilty, Biden will probably give him a political pardon. And if you ain't black, you don't vote for me. Or if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. That's the one acknowledgement of racism that he has been outed for. We all heard him. And yet, still, people of color, black people, still voted for him. Now, we're not done with Biden. The 3 strikes law and all the other shit that he also pushed across. Everybody's bringing that up. Well, he did this to black people. He did that to black people. He did this to black people. Okay. No one's saying he didn't. No one's saying he didn't. But you need to look more carefully at those bills because it was bipartisan all across the board. Republicans and Democrats both voted for these laws that hindered black people. So you can't just throw rocks and stones at Biden without throwing them at all the Republicans back then and all the Democrats, including Bill and Hillary Clinton. You have to be fair and you have to throw all the stones at everybody because that's the first thing people bring up. Well, he did the 3 strikes law and he did this and he did that. Okay. You know what else? He also said before he got elected that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And that was like the openly racist thing that he's ever said. That we know of. Let me restate that just in case somebody comes at me. That we know of. I'm sure if I dig around a little more, I could probably find some more racist shit. But however, that's no worse than me finding racist shit about Mitch McConnell being married to a Chinese woman, but him and Clarence Thomas being married to a white woman, signing on the people like me can't exist bill because we're going to make it illegal for me, who loves Asian women, to date, marry, and procreate with an Asian woman. Do your fucking research. But yet it's okay for Mitch McConnell to have a Chinese wife, but I can't have one? What the fuck makes him special? It's okay for Clarence Thomas, a black man, to have a white wife, but I can't have one? One, you can't help who you fall in love with. And 2, who the fuck is the United States government to tell us who we can and can't marry? Let's not forget the Loving case. I'm in Virginia, where that shit took place, where they wouldn't let a white man marry a black woman or procreate with her. So, racist America, because America is still racist. Some people are just more open about being racist, and unfortunately, one of those people specifically is Donald Trump. And before we go too deep into Donald Trump, let me clear the air really, really quickly. This bullshit charge of him and the campaign money for Stormy Daniels. Whether he did it or not, that shit's not gonna stick. This man will not do any time. He might spend tonight in jail. He probably not even in jail right now. He probably done got arraigned, got bail. He might have got a mugshot. But I almost guarantee you, this man is not in jail right now. He is definitely not in jail right now. He's probably sitting back at home on his computer or doing shit with his son. He's not in jail. He's probably not in fucking jail. And I can be wrong. I don't have a problem being wrong because I can be wrong. I'm not Jesus. I'm never going to be perfect. And I keep telling y'all that I'm not going to be perfect. But I can be honest. I don't know why my machine just did that. So something's going to go wrong soon. And this thing is spinning. So my camera's going to disappear. Shit's going to pop up. And I'm going to have to fix it. Like this thing that just popped up right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. We're just going to wait for it and see what goes on. Anyhow, the whole point being made, and there it is. Internet accounts. What the fuck is this? Let's just get rid of that. And pop this back up. Okay, we're still good. We're gold. Anyway, I was trying to get rid of some shit in the corner because it was getting on my nerve. So let's break it down. All the bipartisan shit that both Trump and Biden did, it works for some of us and not for all of us. And like I said, if you're a diehard Trump supporter and you're supporting him because he got your wallet fat, I ain't mad at you. Now, if you're a diehard Trump supporter and he's making it okay for you to go around and tell Chinese people that they have the Kung Flu, the Wuhan disease, Pocahontas jokes, and shit like that, I don't really need you here. Because I'm part native. And anything racist, even with Joe Biden's, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. That's still racist. That's 1 out of 1,000. Because there hasn't been a live Trump where he has not said something bad about somebody. And y'all may think it's racist rhetoric. And you know why you think that? It's because you can look in the mirror and it doesn't fucking affect you. Where I can look in the mirror and the second he says Pocahontas, yo, he's talking about part of my heritage. And top that off, my grandmother's government name is Marie. You know what her nickname is? Pocahontas. So yeah, I think I have the right to kind of take that shit a little bit personal. And I know people are going to get on her, but you can't take it personal. Okay? This is where I start diving in on Trump and where I start making everybody who supports Trump for anything other than getting their wallets fat angry. Alright? I'm done with Biden. I know if Hunter goes to jail, Hunter goes to jail. But before we go any further with Trump, y'all don't find it strange that Ivanka made deals when she was in office? Donald Trump Jr. made deals when he was in office. Jared Kushner made some kind of deals, even though Donald Trump said something bad about Jewish people, but his son-in-law is a Jew. The only 2 people that really suffered under Trump's command was Barron and Tiffany, because people were picking on them because they're Donald Trump's kids. But nobody's taking into consideration how much it hurts them to have to deal with the shit. Well, you know your daddy's a racist. He's just doing that in front of... Nah, your daddy's a goddamn racist. You know, don't pick on Trump's 2 youngest children. Leave Barron and Tiffany the fuck out. Yeah, Tiffany's grown. She didn't ask to be Donald Trump's kid, and neither did Barron. But as far as Ivanka, Don Jr., and Eric Kushner, her husband-in-law, they grown, and they got jobs in the government by him. All right? Which nobody even said that nobody who was the president couldn't employ his own children. So I can't knock him for that. Hey, that was a smart move. But he's not supposed to make business deals while he's the president, which they claim he did. I got no proof of that. And then there's Omarosa, who said that he has used the N-word, and the guy that was working for her has literally called her the N-word. Y'all can go back and find the videos. They ain't that old. And good luck at finding them, because I'm sure they magically disappeared. And now we can get on to Trump. Now that we got Hunter Biden's ass out of the way, and now that we got Trump's 3 kids that he was employed out of the way. Now, personally, I think all the kids should be off limits. But they're all grown, so they all should have to suffer the same consequences. If you're going to lock Hunter up, you need to go ahead and lock Don Jr. up, and you need to go ahead and lock Ivanka up. Her husband gets a free pass because he's not a Trump by blood. He just married into the family. So if you want to play that game, we can play that game. We're going to lock up Hunter Biden. We're going to lock up Hunter Biden. Okay, lock him up. But now you got to lock up Ivanka because she made deals too, but nobody's bitching about that shit. Don Jr. made deals too. Nobody's bitching about that shit. Kushner, he's just a willing victim. You know, But I'm sure nobody's going to say anything about that, you know. But as far as Don Jr. and Ivanka, they did make legit business deals with presidential power. Because they were working for the president, but they were still working for their companies. And that shit can be fucking proven. The same way they're going to do their damnedest to prove Hunter Biden is guilty for making deals with whatever country he made countries with. Which is no different than Don himself talking with Kim Jong-il. Whatever the fuck. North Korean dictator. No different than Don talking to fucking Putin. No different. The only thing is that we're not in the room. And there has been meetings where he has gone over there and we haven't been allowed in the room. So don't even try that shit with me. Because if I could find the videos and I had the technology to post them in a corner, it would be done. But as y'all all know here, Echo Fan Grey Wolf is stupid as fuck when it comes to technology. Y'all seen how I struggled with Google earlier today trying to find out about martial arts with this damn thing. And Enzo Matrix girlfriend. So I own my flaws. I own them. Understand that shit. And now that we got all the kids completely out of the way, and now I'm done talking about if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, and all these bills that worked against black people by Biden. Biden has been making up for his sins. Trump has still yet to apologize to the Central Park Five, but we're not going to begin there. We're going to go a little further back, because like I said, before he became the president, before I knew that he was a racist, I had no fucking problem with Trump. Understand that shit. Let me repeat that so that you can't hold my foot to the fire. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Before he became the president, before I knew that he was a racist, I did not have a problem with Trump. When he used to rock with the WWE, and no matter how many times he went bankrupt, I didn't know about the other shit. I didn't know about the racist shit before I was born. I didn't know about him not letting his black workers serve his white companions. I didn't know about him grabbing women by the pussy because he's rich, and they allow him to do that. No self-respecting woman is going to let a strange man, regardless how rich you are, grab them by the pussy. They probably was caught the fuck completely off guard, because I know if I had a vagina and some strange man grabbed me by that, two things happen. I'm going to jail, and he's going to hell. But I have a penis, so I don't have to worry about that, because no strange woman is going to ever look me dead in the face and say, oh, Echo Fan Grey Wolf is sexy. I'm going to grab him by the dick. No woman's going to do that to me. Never. I'll let y'all know if that happens, but I can almost guarantee you that it won't. So now let's dig into some shit. Early 70s, late 60s, Trump was sued for not allowing people to live in certain places that he had attachments to because they were of color. Go ahead and find it, and then do your fucking research. Pass your own judgment. It is not my place to change your mind. It is not my place to teach you who to judge and why. That is not what this is about. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, before he became the president, I ain't know about none of that shit. In 1993, let's do the math. How old was I in 1993? Where's my calculator? There's a calculator. So, 1993 minus 1973. So I was damn near 20 years old. Well, I was turning 20 years old. In 1993, me as a person who's part Native American, didn't know this was happening. But I found out about that shit. Because prior to that, in 1989, there was a group of kids. 5 kids. The Central Park 5. You can go find the footage of him saying, we should reenact the death penalty. And there is a clip somewhere, it's probably gone by now, of him saying they should probably be lynched. No different than a governor or a senate or some police chief back somewhere in some state a couple of months ago saying he'd like to add us hanging from a tree as part of that bill, which is completely unacceptable. We all know that people of color have hung from trees. We all know that some white people have hung from trees or from gallows. That shit's not cool at all for anybody to be hung regardless of their color or their gender. Fuck that shit. If you're somebody who thinks that hanging people as a death penalty should be on the table, you should be the one on the death penalty, and you should be the one hanging from the fucking tree. That's just my personal opinion. I'm entitled to it, but I've also had to live this shit for 49 damn years of my life. I've had to deal with racism, and if you're not a person of color and you haven't had to deal with racism, then don't come at me with no bullshit. And yes, white people can experience racism. If you're a black person watching this and thinking that white people can't experience racism, everybody can experience racism. Everybody. Racism. Short and sweet. I hate you because of the color of your skin. That's racism. There's no difference with racism and prejudice. I did a dictionary definition on this thing by Google. They just extend one or the other. We're not going to do it again. Now, the simple truth was that the 5 black kids did not rape the white woman. And they went to jail for a crime they didn't commit. When this man was the president, a documentarian asked him, point blank period, since DNA proved that they were wrongfully convicted, do you think you should apologize? And he said, I'm not going to apologize to them because I don't believe that they were innocent. Now you're going to say, oh, you're just finding that somewhere echo and that's bullshit. Okay, I'll let you have that, but no, it's not bullshit. The documentary of the Central Park 5, he's the guy that made the documentary. And if you go watch the documentary, you'll see that scene. Now, let's talk about 1993 again, because we did the 70s where he didn't want black people to live in certain places. I'm not going to go into the restaurant business or whatever the thing was where he didn't want his black employees to serve his white customers. That's a fact too. So y'all can go find that, do your research, then pass your own judgment. And if you don't think that's racist, you may need to look in the mirror to see if my 99.995 reflects on your biases and racists. And like I said, I got a whole lot of problems with Trump. I didn't have these problems before he was the president because I didn't, one, know about this shit, and two, he was famous for being Donald motherfucking Trump, the red-headed millionaire who went bankrupt 4 times, maybe 5 times. Up until he became the president, I only knew him from being bankrupt and going to wrestling all the time. Because all throughout the 90s, remember he made Vince shave his head, Bobby Lashley won. So, yeah. I had no motherfucking issues with this man. Not one goddamn issue. Until he became the fucking president. 3 things he did when he became the president that made me go back and research 1993 where they don't like Indians to me. Well, newsflash for you. Native Americans come in many different fucking tones of brown. There are some Native Americans that are hyper fucking light-skinned and are full native. So let's get that out the way. Natives come in many tones of brown. Alright? Now, the casino thing, that was all about taxes. Yet this man wasn't really trying to pay his taxes, so I don't know why he got mad that the natives didn't have to pay taxes because all their money goes back to the tribe. And he was pissed off because his taxes was up and their taxes didn't exist. And he even took that shit to court. And the whole video, it goes deeper. But the most important part for me was they don't look like natives to me. Now you're talking about a man who grew up in the 60s and the 50s. And for the record, most of the Native Americans that y'all saw on TV weren't even real Native Americans. They were Italian people who they decided were going to play natives. Culture appropriation. And let me bring it around one more time. Most of the Westerns back then also didn't really hire Native Americans for their shows. And again, cultural appropriation. In wrestling, very few of the Native Americans in wrestling were actually Native Americans. Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Native American. Gerald Briscoe, Native American. A couple of other motherfuckers, not Native American. I'm not going to name them, not going to ruin their cover, but not Native American by blood. So, understand that shit. Of course they don't like natives to you because you're not out there at the reservation looking at natives. You don't have Native American members in your family. People aren't marrying Native Americans in your family, so you don't know what the fuck natives look like. That does not give you a hall pass to say they don't look like natives to me, which is exactly what he did. They don't look like natives to me. Alright? Now again, you guys can get mad at me. It's fine. I'm not going to be mad at you for being mad at me, but I am going to ask you, go do your research. And yes, when you watch the whole video, the dynamic of that's going to change. You're going to fucking feel like you need to favor Trump. And I'm not going to be mad if you do. I am going to be mad if you just say, oh, well, he wasn't trying to be racist. Bullshit. Alright? So let's get off of that and let's go to some more Native American shit. I'm going to go with the code talkers before I go to the Pocahontas thing, because they're kind of one and the same. Just in case y'all weren't aware. On live TV. Live TV. This man, Pat Meadows, on some Navajo code talkers, looked them dead in the face. As sure as the stars are shining, as sure as the sun is in the sky. This is what he said. You guys are very important to us. We also have someone who's been around a very long time. Her name is Pocahontas. He was talking about Elizabeth Warren. Now, from the day he got into office and the day he started running for office, this man was not the Donald Trump I fucking knew. He was not the cool, non-racist Donald Trump because I didn't know about the racist shit before. But this man was Donald fucking Trump. But he wasn't the racist Donald Trump. He was not the racist Donald Trump that was in all these music videos and shit. No. This man was the real Donald Trump. The one that nobody fucking knew about. Elizabeth Warren. She's always talking about her Native American heritage. Yeah, Pocahontas this, Pocahontas that, Pocahontas this, Pocahontas that. In case y'all missed it in the first 10 minutes of this video, when I was apologizing, my grandmother's name is Pocahontas. It's not her biological name. Her biological and government name is Marie. It's like my biological government name is James Williams Jr., but as an actor, James ain't been making no money or being looked at. But Echo Fang Greywolf's flipping the fucking script. Now, he done wanted to put many Pocahontas jokes, and that was not the right place to do it at the beginning of a soldiers' memorial service where you are giving soldiers medals of valor for what the Navajo did, what the Sioux did, what the Lakota did with these code talkers. And you're going to bring up Elizabeth Warren as Pocahontas. And nobody came at him. Even his own supporters. They just let that racist shit slide. And we ain't even talk about what happened here in Charlottesville because there were fine people on both sides. No, motherfucker. The people on the side of the guy that ran over the lady in the crowd of black people with a car were fucking racist. How can you be a fine person as a racist? How? You hate people for the one thing that they can't change, their race. There are good people on both sides. No! None of the good people came there with fucking thought of, hey, I'm gonna plow through all these motherfucking white people. This dude, James Field from Tennessee, plowed through a fuck ton of black people and sadly killed one white lady. But there was fine people on both sides. And y'all want to get mad at me for calling Trump out on this shit. That's fine. Go do your motherfucking research, especially on Charlottesville, because I'm in Charlottesville. I was at home when this shit happened. And when he spoke about that shit on the fucking news, Jared Kushner, some motherfucking racist. Unite the right. They were the people that walked through the damn university with fucking tiki torches talking about Jews will not replace us. But I'm sure that's not racist if you're not a Jew. You know. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm not a Jew, but I'm pretty sure that was fucking racist. That was no worse than them would be hollering if they walked down there hollering the N-word would not replace us. I guess you had to have the N-word to be racist. But Jews will not replace us isn't racist. Yes, it fucking is. Anything that involves you hating someone because of their fucking race is fucking racist. And if y'all don't know that by now, may God have mercy on your soul when that shit drops at your front door. Let's go a little deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper. We got Pocahontas out the way. Now we're going to go to one that's going to piss everybody off that's Asian. Where he goes around, he goes. It's called the Wuhan disaster. The Wuhan disease. The Kung flu. Then let's not forget how he totally disrespected the Chinese reporter because she was asking him a question that did not tickle his fancy. It pissed him off. I don't talk to you. You, young lady behind you, the white woman. Why did you disrespect my colleague? I'm not going to talk to you. You. So he disrespected two women in the same live news broadcast, but not only was that racist, but it was also sexist. It was racist because the first woman was Chinese. It was sexist because the second woman was white. And then he talked to the white dude. And you know what the white dude did? He did the same thing that the white woman did. Why did you disrespect my colleagues? Go watch the video. And then you can pass judgment on me. Go watch the fucking video. Go watch it. Excuse me, Mr. Trump. Oh, I left off the most important part of that video. Because the first thing he asked before he said, I'm not going to talk to you was, why don't you ask China? Because she was Chinese. But I'm supposing y'all aren't going to think that that's racist. And then he told her he wasn't going to talk to her. And then the white girl, he then told the white guy. So yeah, tell me he's not racist. One more motherfucking time. Then we're not going to go into the fact that Omarosa heard him call somebody the N-word. And that one of the people that worked for him also threatened her life and called her the N-word. It's on the news. It was recorded. It was on Inside Edition. And while we're on, not Inside Edition. The other one. What the fuck was it called? It's not Inside Edition, because Inside Edition is the one that Mario Lopez worked for. No, because he worked for Inside Edition, I think. No, Inside Edition is Denver Normal. Dateline NBC is Lester Holt. What the fuck is it? Billy Bush knows. Billy Bush knows because Billy Bush didn't get to keep his job. So whoever was working at that station, and Billy Bush was on an open mic, or a hot mic as they call it, and Billy Bush was talking. He said, yeah, you know, I'm rich so I can grab them by the pussy. Billy Bush was the one who got fired. Extra! It was on Extra, damn it. Thank you, Billy Bush. And I hope you find happiness with the shit that you had to go through for this dumb fucking redheaded troll that has decided that he can do what he wants. He can grab women by the pussy and nobody's gonna say anything. Days of Our Lives actress mentioned this shit. You know, a couple of other people mentioned this shit in the midst of a fucking Me Too movement. Now, I'm gonna go back to one more Native American thing. And then I'm going to go on something else. So first we're going to go on the Native American thing. First day in office. Obama's last day in office. Obama declared a decree to protect Lakota Sioux Standing Rock from any pipelines and shit going through. Donald Trump, first day in office. Pipelines going through, bitches. Wrote that shit down. Getting rid of Obama's decree. So, not racist. He likes natives, huh? I got more bad native stuff, but we're not going to go there. Because even though he got mad at Colin Kaepernick, who's mixed, like myself, and says that I wish that somebody would get up on that field and fire that son of a bitch for kneeling at the American anthem. I know you're thinking, as a veteran, James, or Echo, you should probably be mad at Colin Kaepernick too. I don't know how to say his name. Any fucking how. I am a vet. But I fought, or I joined rather, to protect everybody's rights, including Colin Kaepernick's, the motherfucker with the afro, right to be on that damn field and kneel and play the game that everybody except for me watches, because I haven't watched a football game since Bo Jackson. Because Bo knows everything. But y'all are okay with him calling the man a son of a bitch, and everybody in the NFL blacklisting Colin Kaepernick, whatever the hell his name is, the Afro bro. But y'all are okay with that because it's not you, because it's not your mom, it's not your dad, it's not your best friend, it's not your colored cousin that you don't know about. It's just some NFL guy who's making millions, who chose to take a knee during the national anthem. And shame on the coach and anybody else who fired Colin, whatever the hell his name is, for kneeling. Alright? And this is the part that affects me the most. Because I am a veteran. And any veteran that supported that shit that he said about John McCain or the Gold Star Soldier's fucking ass, shame on you. Shame on you. My heroes don't get captured at war. You didn't even sign up. You didn't enlist. And no, he's not the only political asshole that's a draft dodger. He's not. And I'm sure Clinton and George Bush and all these other motherfuckers dodged the draft too. But none of them came out and said one bad thing about a vet that has fucking served. And if they did, you send me the fucking clip. Especially of Clinton and George Bush Jr. But I know for a motherfucking fact, when he told John McCain, my heroes don't get captured. My soldiers don't get captured. That infuriated me as a veteran. When he said bad shit about the Gold Star Soldier and the parents of that Gold Star Soldier when he was being honored, when he said shit like that, that pissed me off. When he went to go and visit all of the dead soldiers at that fucking place in D.C. where there is nothing but dead soldiers in that ground. Motherfuckers who died for you and for me. And he said, this is a land full of dead losers and suckers. Any veteran that support this motherfucker should be ashamed of themselves because those are our brothers and sisters in that ground. Granted, we didn't live and serve with them. That does not change the fact that as a vet, those are our brothers and sisters. And this guy's telling us military people are losers and suckers. How dare you be a vet and support this shit? How dare you? Yeah, I didn't get to serve the way I wanted to. But them motherfucking dog tags mean something to me. And they should mean something to each and every last one of you. And them goddamn people that's laid under that damn ground, fighting in war so that you and me can live free, drive our cars, and have all the fucking fun we want. They died in Vietnam, they died in Korea, they died in World War II, they died in World War I, they died in the Civil War, because I really don't really count them, but they still were soldiers. How dare any fucking vet support a man who talks down on vets? Especially a man who does not have one family member in his entire damn family serving. So that is the main reason why I will never support Trump. How dare he talk to John McCain that way? How dare he say anything about the Gold Star Soldier's family? I don't care what he said about Muslims. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not really a religious person. I believe in God. That's where it ends. But it's not my job to tell you to believe in God. It's not my job to force Allah down your throat. It's not my job to force Buddha down your throat. You believe what you want. I'm not perfect. It is not my job to convince you who you need to believe and who you need to follow. But I will open up your fucking eyes. Because everything I just said you can go find on video. Someone's got it on one of these things. Go find it. Go find it. But for any veteran watching, it wasn't Obama. It wasn't George Bush Jr. It wasn't George Bush. It wasn't Clinton. It wasn't the people who came before Clinton. Ain't none of them motherfuckers ever say something bad about vets that we have on video. But this man literally told John McCain he sucked because he got captured and he was a POW. Yet this motherfucker ain't served a goddamn day in the military. He's gonna talk about vets being losers and suckers. Which is why I said, if you a vet and you supported this motherfucker, shoot yourself in the foot. because you just stabbed everybody else in the back for supporting a man who talks to vets, a POW at that, a prisoner of war, something that no soldier ever wants to be. Yeah, McCain got shot down. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. And this man talked all that shit about a fucking fellow soldier. Excuse me, I believe McCain was Air Force, so Air Forceman. Still on the same team. A fellow serviceman then. How dare you, if you have not served, if you don't have family that's in the military, if you don't have a family member that's fighting for your right to fucking breathe, to be on American soil, and live so that you can have guns and all this other shit, but you let somebody who's never fucking served, don't have a family member that served, talk about a fellow member of the United States Armed Forces, and you don't think nothing about it? Yeah, you might not have liked McCain. He might have been the biggest asshole on the planet. But he's a soldier. I'm a soldier. You're a soldier. And the one thing we learned in the military, regardless of what motherfucking branch you on, every soldier is your family. Even the bad ones. And the bad ones we gotta weed out, because they make the rest of us look bad. But it does not change the fact that they were soldiers. And soldiers can be corrupted just like anybody else. But goddamn it, war hero, POW, Gold Star family, and this man laid down the chops. Now let's get back into one more racist thing that y'all can go find. They're not sending us good people. They're sending us their murderers, rapists, and drug dealers. He's talking about Mexico. Y'all ain't taking that into consideration either, right? Because Echo Fan Grey Wolf doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Echo Fan Grey Wolf hates Trump so badly that he's gonna come up with anything and everything just to get a point across. Nah, y'all can go find that shit. Go do your own research. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I am sorry, but you need to go do your own research. Because if you do your own research, then you can't blame me for everything that I said, because you can find most of the shit that I mentioned on YouTube. In the 80s and 90s, the biggest things that affected black people was O.J. Simpson and the Central Park Five. There were a few other things, but the biggest thing that affected natives in the 90s, besides MMIP, because it's been happening since before that existed, but besides that, was the casinos. Everywhere Trump had a casino, the natives had a casino. He was mad because the natives were winning, and that's why they went to California court for all that bullshit. But you're going to have to do your research, because I don't want you to think that I'm just picking on Trump. I really don't. And now we up to current day shit. In the current day, he has set things in motion that has gotten himself in trouble. How he talks about people, how he talks to people, and Ron DeSanctimonious is just a little puppy that he's patting on the head. You got this man who, economy-wise, might have been doing great. But as a human being, he was a piece of filth. And I don't care how you feel about me after this video. You need to understand that racism is racism, and racism is wrong. If you hate me because I'm mixed, I'm used to it. If I was to hate you for your race, I would be a big racist. Newsflash for you. As a mixed person, I don't have the right to be a racist. Because to hate someone because of their race, it'd be to hate me. It's enough people hating me. I don't need to be on their side when I'm me. But to sit here, because Trump is living rent-free in all of our heads. And if y'all think this man is going to do time for Stormy Daniels, y'all are sadly fucking mistaken. That shit is not going to stick. Now, I don't know about the other shit. I don't care about the other shit. But in the presence, because he was trying to get some from a porn star, that shit ain't gonna hold water, yo. This man will be back in Florida in less than a week. No. At least for that shit. Now, the other charges, I don't know what they are, and I don't give a fuck. But for the Stormy Daniels, that's a big fucking nothing burger. That's just probably something to get his ass out of Florida since Ron DeSantis already said that he is not going to do his job as the whatever rank he has in Florida to extradite Trump to New York. All right, but as far as the Stormy Daniels thing, y'all can all breathe a sigh of relief for that shit. That shit is not gonna hold up in court. There's no fucking way in hell he's going to jail for that. He goes to jail for that shit, I'm a white man. And we all know that shit ain't gonna happen. If I wake up tomorrow white, I'm gonna be fucked up for life. And I will log on right away before somebody comes to that door, finds me as a white man, and decides to unalive my shit. Because I know what I looked like before I went to sleep. And I did see the Watermelon Man at least once or twice. And for reference for that, if y'all don't know what the Watermelon Man is, it is a movie about a black man who hated white people. Excuse me, I reversed that. It is a movie about a white man who hated black people. And he talked about black people all the time. And then one day, he woke up and he was black. It's a really good movie. I hope that they remake that song, bitch, one day. I'll star in it. But anyway, the bottom line is, Trump has done some really racist shit. Trump has said some really racist shit. And he has said some really bad shit about military people. And he's done some dirty shit to natives. And yeah, I made a video and I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge that and I'm going to own it right now. So this is to the following people that I probably am going to piss off. If you're Asian, if you are black, if you are native, I am sorry. But I did make a video about this. I didn't say sorry then, but I am going to say sorry now. Because I'm going to end this video with this. And I'm going to piss you off. I'm going to piss you off really, really, really well. And I own that shit. Alright? I'm going to give you guys 99.9, 95, 95, 95. When COVID-19 struck, and Trump started hollering the Kung Flu, the Wuhan disease, and every other native expletive toward that disease, Asian hate crime went up. And if you were Asian and you supported Trump, you were stabbing your own people in the face. Because most people, blacks and white alike, can't tell Asian people apart. I can't tell Asian people apart unless I know your name. And sometimes I'm going to get that shit wrong because certain names from the big three, China, Korea, and Japan, some of their names are interchangeable due to the war that they had. You know, whether it's North Korea or South Korea, Japan had to come through Korea to go to China. And the comfort women and all that other shit that Japan did to Korea and China and the Philippines, oh, believe you me, there are some Japanese Filipino people running around and don't know unless they have their Japanese names. And also, in the occupation of China with Japan, a lot of the Chinese people conformed and took Japanese last names, even though they were not Japanese. Because at this time, it was like, you're going to take our last name or you're going to fucking get shot. And that's kind of how that worked. Which, by the way, this is why I said making a wall in America was not the best idea because it didn't help China. China made a great wall, and when Japan occupied it, they had nowhere to go. It's just that simple. Don't build something that blocks you in your own country. The Chinese learned that shit. Great Wall's still standing though because it's one of the ninth wonders of the world. But back in the 40s and 50s or whatever, whenever the hell World War II was, and Japan occupied China, Chinese had nowhere to go. They had nowhere to fucking go. The wall was blocking them from Mongolia. Now, bring that shit back around to Trump. When Trump started talking about the Kung Flu and the Wuhan disease, hate crimes from blacks on Asians went up and from whites on Asians went up. And you watched them unfold. You literally watched them unfold. I saw some black people try to attack a man looking for cans to support his family with canes, rocks, and sticks because he wanted to support his family, and they made him cry on camera. Fuck them. Shame on them black bastards. And yeah, I said it, those black bastards, because that's exactly what they were. They were bastards. The fact that they was black is just a bonus, but they were bastards. They couldn't do nothing but pick on an old man. An old man. Not a young, healthy Chinese guy that could probably beat their fucking ass, but an old man. You know, you always seen that they attacked elderly Asians. They didn't attack young Asian people. They didn't want to take the chance that young Asian motherfucker might be like Jet Li and beat the dog shit out your ass. Now, they didn't want to do that. So they attacked elderly people. They attacked them from coast to coast. And all that shit got hyped up by Donald Trump. Talk about the Kung Flu and the Wuhan disease and the other three that I don't even fucking remember what he said, but I know it was three more. Because he actually made a video about it. This is what's going around. Kung Flu has a catchy kick. It's out there. You just go find the video. Y'all have technology and Google is your friend, not mine. Then, you got all these black people that's voting for Trump. Because they forgot about the Central Park 5. They forgot about the times where he wouldn't let black people work with his white constituents or live in his housing projects and shit. But because he let one homeless lady that was living in his hotel, which I still call beat shit on that, because I don't care what anybody says, that's bullshit. And how does he try to make it better? He talks to Kim Kardashian, he frees like 2 or 3 black people, so he earned their family's vote, like right there, got them free from doing drugs. Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you on how I feel about that, because drugs has destroyed my family. If you are doing drugs, regardless of the drug, and you know you're not supposed to be doing drugs, if it's not a medical reason for drugs, I ain't got no sympathy for you if you go to jail. Alright? You know you shouldn't be carrying drugs around. You know the shit's illegal. You know there's always a 50-50 chance that when you walk out your house, your ass is going to be arrested because you doing drugs. The grandma did drugs. It was a minor crime, and yeah, her sentence was kind of harsh. I get it. And yeah, Donald smacked that sentence away. But at some point, at some time, we have to take responsibility for our actions. I don't do drugs. I might speed in my car. That's about the only crime you're going to catch me on is I speed in my car. And then there's that ex-girlfriend who got me for harassment shit. That's it. But as far as doing shit like drugs and shit and going around thumping people and mugging them and all that bullshit, I don't do that shit. I'm not a fucking gangbanger. I'm not a gangster. I don't do that dumb shit because I actually like my freedom. But a lot of people, especially us black people, I do what I want. Fuck you. But the first time them goddamn vertical bars slam, I'd be like, nah, man, I ain't supposed to be here. I ain't supposed to be here. Did you do the fucking drugs? Yes, I did. And that's why your motherfucking ass is locked up. Did you try to sell drugs to a undercover cop? Yes, I did, and that's why your ass is busted. Now, granted, they may have given you more time than you deserve for like a couple of seeds, but that's the consequences of your actions, because you ought to know better. You've seen other drug dealers go to jail for less. Why the fuck would you attempt to do the same dumbass shit? Because some people gotta learn the hard way. Now, the Black Lives Matter that was painted in front of Trump Tower, and the black people and the white people that took the tar and covered all that shit up. And yet they called a handsome liberal Uncle Tom. But yet these motherfuckers forgot about all the shit that Donald has done to black people in New York. Especially the Central Park 5. And I will reference that when I talk to black people who support Trump. How can you support this man who wanted to hang 5 fucking children for a rape they did not commit? And never said I'm sorry. And it goes farther back. It goes into the 60s and 70s, and it goes to where he didn't want his constituents being served by black people. But he's not racist. He's not racist, but y'all want to support him, so hey, knock yourself out. And now, we did Asians, we did blacks, and now let's do natives. If you are a Native American, and you are supporting this motherfucker, turn your native card in. Turn your fucking native card in. Because before he ran, Standing Rock was the issue. He literally is on video. I cannot find it, but I know I saw it. He told Native Americans, especially the woman that was talking to him, if he becomes president, what are you going to do about Standing Rock? And he literally looked at her in the face and said, I don't have any ties with Standing Rock. I'm not going to let the pipeline go through. Remember what I said. The video is out there. When he became the president, right after Obama, his last act was to protect Standing Rock from having the pipeline go through. This motherfucker, Donald J. Trump, signed that decree to eliminate Obama's decree so the pipeline can go through. He practically was doing this after he did that shit. Now, he didn't do that, but he was practically doing that. And then Standing Rock became an issue again. Hell, the first person to say anything was the young white lady from the movie Divergent. Nobody else gave a fuck. TikTok blew it up. Instagram blew it up. But Trump was hell-bent on having that pipeline go through there. There's still pipelines being fought right now. And Trump ain't even in office, but there's still pipelines being fought right now. And Biden ain't really stuck his hand in the pit to stop this shit from happening. So he's no better than Trump on that issue. But this ain't about him. Because I already covered all the racist shit. The fact that he's not doing anything about these pipelines makes him no better than Trump. But on a racist standpoint, he damn sure ain't worse. And for other natives that are going around, especially that one that I talked about many years ago when Trump was in office, and he's like, I think it was something native. What the fuck was his name? But he talked all historic and shit. And he talked about Trump like Trump was Jesus to natives. And I sit there and said to myself, you know what? This motherfucker, the only reason why you saying this shit is because it's not happening on your reservation. He forgot the grand rule about what happens to one native tribe will eventually happen to all native tribes. Or did y'all forget about the Trail of Tears? Because I didn't forget about the Trail of Tears. A lot of people forgot about the Trail of Tears. And then if we go and flip that shit back to the Asians real quick for Asians for Trump. Oh, he's not racist. He's not racist. You know why he's not racist? He's not the one fucking attacking you. But his followers are spraying old people with fucking Lysol and Febreze, setting women on fire on the goddamn buses, because that was 3 black girls that set an Asian woman on fire on the bus. All of them Trump supporters. But, you know, the Filipino guy who got cut from cheek to cheek because they thought that he was Chinese and that he had Kung Flu, aka COVID. This happened to like 19 or better Asian people. The black guy who took the brick to the Korean ladies in the store because he was just being an asshole, right? It also because they were Korean, but he thought they were Chinese. Because like I said, most people can't tell Asian people apart. I can't tell without their fucking names. And again, I say that their names are interchangeable. But you don't have to hate people because of their race. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. But I'm an asshole too. But there's a time and a place to be an asshole. And there's a time and a place to not be an asshole. At any motherfucking time that you decide to hate somebody because of the time of their race, you are a fucking racist. And let me make this clear so I can end this video. I'm sorry, but let me make this clear. You cannot take back something that you said out your mouth. You meant to say it on some level or another, or you would not have said it. And I've been saying this before I changed my name to Echo Fang Grey Wolf, and I will continue to say that shit after I die. And it's my saying. If you said it, you meant it on some level or another. Now, I don't want to hear, oh, I didn't catch myself. I don't catch myself a lot either. But that doesn't change the fact that I meant to say it. I hate racist people. So I'm racist towards racists, but I will tell you one damn thing for sure. Pocahontas jokes were racist. Wuhan disease was racist. Hating the Central Park 5 was racist. They don't like Indians to me was racist. But why was it racist to those people? Those are the people in the diaspora in which he's being racist to. But y'all want to pitch that bitch off as, oh, it's just rhetoric. Racist rhetoric to get a man cut from cheek to cheek because racist people think he's Chinese is where that led to. But it's just rhetoric, right? It's rhetoric because it's not happening to you. That's why it's rhetoric. It's not happening to you. You can walk out your house every day and smile and not have to worry about somebody attacking you because of the color of your skin. Everybody else can't do that when they're following a supreme racist. And let me end on DeSantis real quick. Because Trump is bad. DeSantis is just as bad. Maybe even worse. I do not have a problem with the alphabet community. If you're an alphabet community member and you're following me here, thank you. Thank you very much. I do not date y'all, but I do respect y'all. And I'm not gonna fucking ever put you down on purpose. Because I'm one of your biggest supporters, especially when it comes to transgender sports. Because I'm the only one who says this, and everybody gives me a pain in the ass about it. But if they just give the transgender people their own league, so that everybody who identifies as trans can make their money, have their own league, just like the NFL and the NBA or whatever, because they made the women's league, they had the WNBA. Why can't they do that with transgender people? It solves all the fucking problems because they don't want to do that. Now, that's fucked up, but that's the way it is. But yet they don't want transgender athletes also competing in regular sports. But if you build their league, and you get some of these rich people that ain't got nothing but money and time to come up with an alphabet squad league, it solves the problem. But they don't want to solve the problem. They want the problem to ignite into an inferno. Now back to my point with DeSantis, which is why I brought that up. DeSantis has blocked some comic books from being sold in his state. DeSantis is removing all books and CRT and all kinds of other shit. So he is just as bad as Donald Trump. He is just as racist as Donald Trump. He don't want to teach history the way it was taught to us because he's scared that white kids are going to grow up to hate themselves. Let me tell you something. A lot of kids grow up to hate themselves, not just white kids. A lot of kids do. I hated being mixed because I just wanted to be black. I'm never going to be just black. I had to accept that shit. And here I am at 49, gratefully accepting it. I didn't want to be part native and part black. I just wanted to be black. Wasn't an option because I was also part white. And the kids made me hate myself and they made me hate them. But I'm pretty sure that doesn't fall on ears that don't care because it doesn't affect you. But you got this high-ranking official in Florida. I understand taking out the alphabet community books from grade schoolers. But when you hit middle school and high school, you can't tell a kid what they can and can't read. And after the 5th grade, kids are reading on a 6th and 7th grade level. And you think they ain't going to pick up a cell phone and find out a book about transgender people and stuff like that? You're a fucking idiot. But you want to remove that shit. But you want to remove black history. You want to remove things about Native Americans. You want to remove things about Asians and anybody that's not white. And y'all think DeSantis is not as racist as Trump. He's actually worse in my opinion because he's taking knowledge away from people who deserve to know the truth. You know what that's going to do to them when they know the truth? When these little white kids read up and it's like, man, you know, my best friend Charlie, man, you know, he's a black dude. And me and Charlie ain't allowed to talk no more because Charlie's a black dude. And I found this book. And I ran over to Charlie's house and I apologized to Charlie for what my ancestors did. Now, contrary to popular belief, this kid does not know if his ancestors enslaved Charlie's parents or grandparents or great-grandparents or not. When I was in school, in grade school, and we learned about Black History Month, none of the white kids ever apologized. But one white kid was upset, and one black kid literally walked over to that kid and said, "You are not responsible for what your ancestors did. And anybody who tells you otherwise, they're just fucking stupid." Now we're in the fucking 5th grade, and have a black kid tell a white kid that you are not responsible for your ancestors. You're not. You can't get mad at yourself for some shit that your ancestors did. One, and I'm going to say this one more time, and y'all can get mad if you want, but this is the only 1000% true statement that I can make in this video. Here we go. You don't get a say in the color of your skin when you born. You don't get to say what race you're going to be when you born. I can't go to God and say, God, I demand that in my next life, I'm Chinese. I don't give a fuck if I'm a guy or a girl, but I want to be Chinese. And God looks at you and laughs and says, okay, no problem, kid. And let's say God makes you Chinese, but he gives you health problems. In fact, he gives you so many health problems that you don't live past the age of 2. You're born with no arms and no legs. You can cry, and that's it, because you went to the Creator and demanded that they make you Chinese. And I'm going to make it worse, because Chinese people don't really like woman child. So then, not only does he make you born a Chinese person, he makes you a girl with no arms and no legs. And you don't live past the age of 2. You do not get a fucking choice when you are born and what the fuck your race is going to be. Because I will be honest, after all the shit I've been through in my 49 years, I always said when I stopped being accepted by black people that if I had a choice, I would be full-blooded native, without question, without remorse. I still hold those feelings to this day. But I'm also black. I'm also white. And I have embraced my heritages. I had a long time to get there, but I embraced those heritages because those are what makes me me. And not one time have I looked at a white person and said, I hate you because your fucking ancestors owned mine. For all I know, my ancestors might have owned mine. You don't know. And anybody that is telling their kids that you should hate white people because they white, you are racist. If you are a native and you are telling your kids, hate black people because they black, hate white people because they white, hate Asians because they're Asians, you are racist. If you are Asian, hate black people because they black, hate white people because they white, hate Native Americans because they're native, hate Mexicans because they're Mexicans who are also Native Americans, you are racist. And no matter what race you are, if you are raising racist, are you raising people to hate people because of the color of their skin, you are a racist. And to those racist people, not to everybody here, but just the racist people in case this winds up on your page, go fuck yourself. Echo Angry Wolf tells you to go fuck yourself with a red hot poker and no Vaseline. And I don't like racist people. And if you want to fight against racism, we're good. Have some cultural boundaries. Teach people about themselves. Get to know people. If you're going to hate anybody that's racist, hate racists for being racist. Racism. You are not born racist. You are taught racist. I'm going to end it right here with this. I've had some bad racist experiences from black people. But I don't hate all black people because of how many times they called me a zebra or a half-breed. I've had some racist incidences from white people. But I don't hate all white people for calling me a zebra or a half-breed or even the N-word or especially chief. Natives, I've had 2 incidences with natives, and the only thing they said to me was I wasn't pure blood, and in return my dumb ass said, well, I'm going to roll you down this hill because there's no honor in fighting a man who can't stand up, because they were in wheelchairs. And when the big brother came and spoke to me with his Jan Brady syndrome, I threatened to roll him right in the street. I said, you know, I will roll you in the street in oncoming traffic because there's no honor in fighting a man who can't stand up. And then my native friend stood up to them for me and set their ass straight. But they still prevented me from getting anywhere near their niece, which is how I got there. My incidents with white people were pretty bad. I had one girl call me a nigger my entire life. And yeah, I said that word. I don't like that word. And I punched her in the mouth. And we were in the 3rd grade. And I didn't get in trouble for it because my principal was Italian and he was from New York. And he played that shit. He had to coach that word out of me because I don't use that word. We never used that word in our house. Never. We never used the word honky. And we never called anybody who was Asian, Japs, Chinks, Gooks, Spics. We never did that shit. Because we're a mixed family. We are part native, part black, and part white. We have no right to be racist. So we're not. But I am very racist to people who raise racist. Hopefully y'all understood what I was going with that. And if you didn't, may God have mercy on your soul. And if y'all want Donald Trump to be free, y'all ain't got too much to worry about. I'm sure, as my damn name is Echo Fang Grey Wolf, this man's not gonna do any time for the Stormy Daniels shit. Now, as far as the other shit, I don't know what it is, and I can't guarantee you that shit. But I can almost guarantee you, he's not going to fucking jail. He's damn sure not going to prison. So you got all these memes and him in the orange jumpsuits, man. Don't pay that shit no mind. Don't pay none of that shit no mind. This man is not gonna get any time. He's gonna prove to the world that at least one person was above the law. He's also gonna prove to the world that everything is gonna change if he doesn't go to jail. And he's gonna skirt by the skin of his fucking teeth. Almost guaranteed. Anyway, that being said, I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Hammer number 2. If I've pissed you off in any way, shape, or form in this video, I am sorry. You do not have to accept my apology, and I'm fine with it. Just understand, before you totally jump off the page or give me the finger or whatever, go do your research, form your only opinion. This door is always open. This door is always open. It will never be closed for y'all unless my ass is dead or I get signed by someone who says I can't be on YouTube until after my contract is over. So that being said, I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Oh yeah, one last thing. I'm in the debating stage of starting a new Instagram for Echo Fang Grey Wolf versus James Williams Jr. 9 something. I can't even tell you my damn Instagram. I can tell you in a minute. Gotta wait for the phone to load. My Instagram handle is James Edward Williams Jr. 616. I'm fixing to change and make an Echo Fang Grey Wolf channel. So that's gonna happen. I'm just gonna talk to people about it before I do it. That being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a blessed night, and I hope my 99.9% of the truth didn't offend you or chase you off.